Hi, I'm Al Goff.
And I'm Miles Miller.
Hi, this is John Schneider.
Hi, it's John Glover.
This is Justin Hartley.
This is Steve DeKnight.
This is Aaron Ashmore.
This is Cassidy Freeman, and you are listening to Starkville.
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 Starkville, House of L. Starkville, House of L.
Starkville, House of L.
The podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Starkville's House of L. This is our episode for the Smallville Season 3 episodes, Extinction and Slumber. I'm Derek.
I'm Steve.
Hey Steve, how are we?
Hey Derek.
Hey Steve.
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm well.
All doing your cons and everything.
Well, you know how it be.
Being the gonna be what it's gonna be, son.
Gonna be how it's gonna be. I didn't hear no bell.
Not this time.
No.
I
had two good trips back to back. I did the Smallville convention in Jersey, and then we just did the shoe trip, annual trip up to Philly.
I'd like to revisit Backety Back.
Oh yeah,
I had two trips Backety Back.
Yeah, well, I will tell you, the first night in Philly, we're walking to the Airbnb for where we had to park, which was like 14 miles away.
Backety Back, don't talk yak.
Exactly. And Bolton's walking, dragging his suitcase. He's like, "There's a severe lack of people huddled around an open can garbage fire singing, 'Take me back in this town.'"
Yeah, you sent me a picture of Mickey's gym and everything.
Yeah.
I was really disgusted with how cleaned up it is.
Yeah, you should be. Yeah. I made the mistake of going to Rocky's house too. That was not a good idea whatsoever.
Was that in a good section?
Not
of
a
town?
got a great part of town. Not a great part of town.
What are they trying to do? Revitalize the city or something?
Yeah, they figure after 40 years maybe do something with it.
Yo.
Hey, we're not alone today. We've got a third partner in crime for this episode, and I struggle with the best way to introduce him. Because
this is Derek's minion.
Mr. Russell, I'm sorry.
Tim, I used to call you the historian because that was the best way to describe you, because your weird, freakish recall creeps me out, to be perfectly honest with you.
As it should.
You have become a honorary producer, definitely the guru of our social media on all things Superman and Lois and Smallville and everything in between. But you have been listening to Starkville's House of L for how long now?
I want to say it was the first. I wasn't there from the beginning, but season 6, I was right there. And I just typed Smallville into iTunes, which pulled up iTunes Radio at the time, that section no one ever clicked on, and I clicked on it. Oops, sorry. Edit. But
no, you're fine. No one ever. I mean, it was a new thing back then.
Yeah, and I was around season 6. I was just going into junior high, so yeah.
Okay, well that's weird. So thanks for coming on. We appreciate you. That is weird to hear, but cool also in a way. And you've become a good friend over the last several years, and you came and hung out with us in Atlanta in 2018 when we did the live show there, and got to meet Steve. Albeit
for like 30 seconds, apparently.
Allegedly, yes.
Allegedly.
I wouldn't expect him to remember I'm unmemorable, but in short doses.
That's all right. Yeah. So yeah, you have been around for as part of the show, I guess, as long as it has existed, at least from a listener standpoint. I consider myself your John Jones, that I'm always here, but like say you get shot by a kryptonite bullet or go rampaging through Metropolis. I'm not gonna be there. I'll just watch it from over here. You're gonna retcon yourself in later and show up
basically.
late. Okay, that's fair.
I was always here.
And that's what you've done. You have retconned yourself in at a later date. You have.
We can't prove any of these things you tell us. We just accept that they're fact.
That they're true. Yeah. I'm amazed at the stuff you'll pull out on social media sometimes. I'm like, where are you finding these things?
Yeah.
Well, I'm annoyed now because
Oh, well, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No,
we didn't mean to piss you off.
But there were AAC references that I make that Derek doesn't remember because the AAC feed is long gone.
Let's be fair. 90% of what you say, I don't remember.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could say there was an episode where Joe Humrick did a stand-up comedy routine and Robin tap danced, and you don't know.
That could be true.
We didn't listen to those.
No, we didn't listen to
We weren't
there. Season 10, everybody was checked out. So.
The only episode of that I tuned into was the one I was on when I crashed the Fortune episode. Yeah.
How do we do?
The easiest way I could equate the feeling of talking to Tim often is, and I've told this story on the air before, and I'm sure I've told Steve this before, but the first time I ever met Dane Davenport, I was in Kansas City, and we were out to dinner one night, and he had brought
I'll do my part.
No, but I don't want you to interrupt me. I know you know this story because we've discussed it, but shut up. So I'm telling the listeners, there are other people listening than you right now. Take a minute. Take a beat. And some reference was made at dinner. I cannot remember what it was. But it was some inside shoe joke related, and Dane and I were laughing about it. And Dane's buddy, Isaac, that was at dinner with us, out of nowhere goes, "Hey, you should tell Steve about this." And I was like, wait, he's one of them.
I remember that story.
I didn't know he was one of them. I thought you were just Dane's friend that was hanging out with us. So that's kind of what it's like talking to Tim at all times. But Tim's the best. He's the best of the best. He's a good guy, and I'm glad it's been overdue for you to be on the show. So when
I like listening and talking back, but it's gonna be a weird experience. This is like one of my first times on microphone, so forgive me, Steve, Derek, and listeners, if I'm not most polished.
You'll be fine. That's why we're here. We're polished.
They call me the Ric Flair of podcasting because I can go with anybody.
Because he just screams "woo" a lot.
Woo! Yeah, if I get nervous.
And for some reason, shirtless. We don't really understand why. Why are you oiled up? Like, it makes no sense.
Careful.
I don't know. I will tell you this, that after the drumming I took last time over my hat choice, I just went with a standard ball cap this time.
You didn't get a drumming for it. It looked good.
You gave me a hard time.
They call me the Hulk Hogan of podcasting because I don't know when to quit.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. They call me the Thunder Lips of podcasting. The Thunder Lips, baby.
Yeah.
I'm Derek's Paul Heyman, who he has no idea who that is.
Paul Heyman, you're the wise man.
Yeah, Derek has no idea.
Oh, it's wrestling references now. No, I'm totally lost. I was good. I'm doing really well to remember that Hulk Hogan for a brief period of time was Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Star of Rocky 3 and Muppets from Space.
He is in Muppets from Space.
I was thinking about Muppets from Space just last night.
Do tell.
I will, because I knew that Tim was going to be on, and I always get two bits confused from movies. There's we shall call him Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that from Monty Python or what have you?
Holy Grail.
Holy Grail.
And I always want to go to the Cape for Ed. At the end of Muppets from Space, they're taking Jeffrey Tambor with Jambi. Oh, Jambi.
You know Jambi. Everybody knows Jambi.
Jeffrey Tambor. I like to call him Jambi.
We're hanging out. I call him Jambi.
But me and the Jams, they're taking him to space with them, and they're like, and he's like, the Cape. And all the gonzos, they are the Cape. And one goes, the Cape for Ed.
I just love Muppets from Space for Pepe. He's best new Muppet.
That was his breakout role, man.
That was
Give
it.
it to him. I will smack
him. All right.
It could be full of chocolate, okay?
I got some loose jello, okay?
Smoking is very bad for you, okay?
And then you have Beaker with the invisible sprite, sad, the temporary, sad, the temporary. Yeah.
Well, now that was a callback to the Muppet movie.
Yes.
Indeed.
With the instant grow peels. What in the Sam hell is that? It's a giant prune. A giant prune.
It only took me how long to derail you guys?
I was going to say, we're 8 minutes into this and off the tracks. Off the tracks completely.
Yeah, so.
It's fine. Bring me the remote.
The go?
There you go. Good job.
Steve was going for it. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
It's a fight to the death. We'll see which one of you is still standing by the end of this episode. Extinction! You're talking over me again, and I can't have that. I'm sorry. I just won't allow it.
Mute him. Mute him. Mute him.
we might. We might have to. Extinction, episode 303, the 47th episode of the series, aired October 15th, 2003, just over 21 years ago at the time of this recording. Today is October 28th. If we had recorded this a few weeks ago like we were going to, we would have met that, but I forgot. Wait, that reminds me. Was there a break between 3 and 4? How close are we to Slumber? October 22nd, a week. We missed it by a week.
I was going to say Slumber's the next episode.
I know that, but I don't know if it went 3 and usually they didn't take a break but that early on.
Right.
And this was season 3 was the latest season to start other than season 1, I believe. And see, here's the problem with having Tim on. If I'm wrong about something, he's just going to call us out on it.
I believe season 4 might have been.
All right, shut up. Anyway, Extinction. So here's something I realized when rewatching this one. This might be the first time this has happened in 3 seasons now of going back and redoing this. This is one I remember very vividly. Like my recall on it was good. I just always kind of dismissed it, and I really liked it upon rewatch. Like, I really enjoyed the episode.
It's a solid episode.
It really is. It's got a number of things going for it, too. Go ahead.
I remember this episode as kind of almost being we are now closing the door on Freaks of the Week. Though we'll still have them.
Yeah.
It was literally almost like this will no longer be our focus. And they embraced the whole name of Freak of the Week, with The Rock, with Freak scrawled all over it and everything. Right. So I remember this as being kind of a pinnacle episode because of that. But also there were just some cool moments throughout that were just, it got intense there.
It got intense. There's callback to so many previous Freaks of the Week. Mm-hmm. So good continuity there. I don't ever remember being in the lobby of Luthor Corp in the entire series. Or at least not this lobby. Not this lobby.
Well, I was going to say, because Jitters, man.
I'm trying to think, and...
Is that the lobby, though?
Comes later.
He's down in the... He's at the base. What do you call the lobby?
In between the front door and the elevator?
Yeah, that's where that's where he's at in Jitters when he's trying to get the janitor to open up for him because he's got.
Yeah, but it's not the same. I don't think it's the same.
And then we see it again in the first Alicia episode when he rips the elevator open and all that.
The elevator's not the lobby.
No, but the elevator is adjacent to the lobby, isn't it?
Jason doesn't come in till the next season.
That's season 4. That's where
acceptable.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember this interior ever being used for Luthor Corp because I don't think it's the same. Right. I mean, this is shot on location. Even if Obsession or Jitters was filmed, I'm not sure that it was in the same facility. I could be wrong. I just liked I'm wrong. I just like the shot of Lex and Clark walking through the lobby of Luthor Corp and how sprawling it is. I do not think it's the actual Luthor Corp building either.
No, I don't think so. I think because by this point, this was like we're getting to the end of them actually going on location for Metropolis scenes, aren't we? Because we don't really have that many in season 4.
And
then
a few times
5.
Run. I know they're in Run. Yeah. They're walking around. Clark and Jonathan are. A few times, but I don't know. I like it when they do something they don't normally do, and that doesn't get to happen a whole lot in the show. So, filming on location was always so good for it. It always looked so good in the streets of Vancouver and the buildings that they chose for interiors, and I just there's you barely know you were in it, but up in the background there were little Luther Corp logos, flags hanging and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, they just walked inside.
Should I get into some trivia about this episode?
Sure, go ahead. Wow us on Extinction.
This is your show. I'm just.
Thank you for recognizing that. I appreciate that.
Keep that in mind, Tim.
Moving forward.
So this was the final three episodes. Final of three episodes. Directed by Michael Kettleman. Does that name ring a bell for either of you gentlemen?
Yes, he directed Extinction.
Well, yes. And also, he was a producer on the Birds of Prey TV show, which around this time would have been getting its cancellation notice that was not picked up for season 2. And fun fact I learned while reading up on him, he was the director of the Captain America movie.
Oh, the 90s one.
Assistant director of the Captain America movie. You kind of beat me to the punchline.
Make up your mind.
Is he director or is he assistant director?
Assistant director.
Assistant to the director.
That's a third. That's a third position altogether.
No,
that's a gopher. That's
it was the 90s one with the rubber ears and Italian Red Skull.
Ah, well, he did his best with what he had, I guess.
Yeah.
The Birds of Prey series, I thought that was later in history than season 3 of Smallville. I thought that was.
It was around 2003, I think, was the season. It was one season. So
yeah.
And this episode also features the, I believe, third and final appearance of the Smallville school pool after Nicodemus and Redux. And Kristen Crook had to spend about 13 hours in it.
13 hours?
Yep.
Ridiculous.
She has a quote saying that she loves swimming, but after that long water, your eyes get bloodshot and it's pretty rough.
Was there not a pool scene in the in the one with Sean Kelvin?
I think that was Crater Lake, wasn't it? Or was
that's
it
where he got his powers, but did he not try to trap Chloe in the pool?
Yeah, I feel like he took somebody's life force in the pool or froze it.
I know he was in the shower.
He touched the pool and they got their foot stuck in the edge.
I think that might be the case. I think you might be right.
I'm going to give it to Steve. I'm going to give point to Steve on this one.
Yeah.
So the fourth and final appearance of the pool.
Let's get this straight.
Yes, fourth and final. And then
coming on here like it's amateur hour.
This also had a scene with the one with Chloe and Lionel. She had her whole subplot with I'm betraying Clark because, well, I'm censoring myself because I have opinions on Chloe, but they wanted that scene at the end of Extinction, and it was scripted for Extinction, but they moved this one, and that was via Ken Horton. He made that call.
Okay.
And it kind of is... Am I allowed to go off about Chloe?
I mean, you could say what you need to say, and if I need to edit it out, I'll edit it out, but you...
Going back and rewatch, I understand she's a teenage girl, so, like, you have that whole aspect of it. She's not thinking really at all. Chloe, if Clark was a girl, Chloe was a boy, she would be recognized as an incel, and I'll just say that. Where Clark friend-zoned Chloe, but Chloe deserves a shot because she's such a nice girl, and it's just, I'm like, he doesn't owe you anything, Chloe, and you just keep.
But Tim, he's the girl of her dreams, masquerading as his best friend, or whatever that horribly cringy line is. That every time I'm like, ugh, that's a weird line.
Yeah, that's like if Clark wrote that for Chloe, it would be like a restraining order.
Oh,
it's
see
just
what
like,
you're saying. Okay, all right.
There's a double standard there, I feel, which I'm surprised I think that way, because I'm not usually the one be like, but what about the man?
I understand. Okay, I see what you're saying here.
But they said they didn't want to drag that out because at the end of Exodus in season 2, she was all dressed in black, and they were concerned about having her become like a mini Lex, which they didn't think they needed someone else doing that because they still had Lex for this time. So, and basically, they didn't want to go there with her because they basically recognized they were making her unlikable, where she says she likes Clark, but then she is constantly sabotaging, backstabbing him. It's basically Chloe's self-sabotaging herself. Basically,
she's a good little saboteur. She's always been a very good saboteur throughout the series. It's nice to get some mentions of Gabe Sullivan.
Yeah, where's he at for now? Still alive. Last time we checked. So.
We don't hear about him enough. Steve, what are your memories of Extinction?
Well, like I said, I remember it being like a definitive kind of, this is it for Media Freaks. This will no longer be our focus, and it was done in a creative way. That's what it felt like, and I remember some of the chats and the forums leading up to it felt the same way.
Which is funny because the following episode is one of the most WTF Freak of the Week episodes.
Right. I have no
series.
Right. But I mean, I just remember leading into this and the episode itself, that's what it felt like to a lot of people. But even with the next episode, like, you don't feel like the focus is going to be on the Meteor Freaks as you move through in this season, because they do such a good job of putting the Lionel murder stuff and the Lex and Clark stuff really seems to take front and center with a lot of things, you know, especially by the time you get like the Shattered and Asylum and that sort of thing.
It becomes a more serialized show.
I guess that's what I'm trying to get at there, is it becomes a more serialized show. But I also, like, obviously, you know, you can't forget the Clark being shot thing. I mean, like, it's a moment that I remember. Like, I think one of the greatest things is Tom's look on his face as he turns to basically catch the bullet that's going to go through his hand and shoot him, and, you know, and lodge into his body. But he looks almost annoyed by it as it's coming at him.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a cool little moment where he's like, oh, this is ridiculous. Who's shooting me now? You know, like, what son of a shooting me? I'm not putting up with this crap. And then it goes in and it's the shock. And of course we get, you know, the whole, how'd they do that running scene now? Was that on a truck, do you think? Or was someone walking along with that?
It's jostling too much.
Hold on now.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I always loved that head-on running thing. It's something that by the time this season's over, they don't really use it again. Now, I can think of like maybe two instances late in the series where they use it. Lazarus.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, when he's running between Lois and in the cornfield and then to Metropolis to catch the globe. And like maybe one other time, I don't know, but I always liked the head-on running thing. It's the running alongside that I've always like, why are we doing this?
I feel like.
Go ahead, Steve.
Well, I feel like even with like the Flash and everything, like the TV show and it, I think that the idea of super speed is always so hard to. Because are their legs supposed to move faster than normal? You know, are we supposed to see those legs chugging like a choo-choo? Is it, you know, are we supposed to be seeing it in the slow motion kind of thing like he does? Are we supposed to see everything else slow down and be in real time? And I think that people have always kind of had a hard time of like, what are we actually doing? How do we communicate the super speed here?
Right.
And so the head-on works other than this part. Like, this thing is kind of like, if he wasn't running in place, it just feels like he's running in place. Like, at least put him on a treadmill and let him go so it's a more natural kind of run from the head on. But it just doesn't, I don't know. And now listen, you can look at me and tell I know a lot about running.
Connoisseur.
The only reason to run is if something's chasing you. Isn't that the joke? Or
even then, man, if something, I'd rather be dead and had fought off the thing than tired and dead. Because a lot of, you know, they tell you if you go on safari, if something comes at you, don't run because you'll just be tired and dead.
I can fix that for you. Don't go on safari. That would be. Well, let me just from the outset.
You see where my big tail is. I'm in a room surrounded with toys that won't attack me.
that you know of. You've seen movies.
I've seen Toy Story.
You've seen Toy Story. You've seen Small Soldiers, right? You've seen.
Yeah. That one's
Years
scary.
ago, you made a Small Soldiers.
Small Soldiers was a great movie. It just it needed more time. It needed more time.
The Smallville wiki does something interesting here. Because there's a line in this episode where Lana says, Chloe's been attacked by more of these people than me.
Yep.
And the Smallville wiki actually tries to list out the attempts on both of their lives.
They did a tally.
Oh, that's nice. Like a
They did a
scorecard.
tally, and they've by Meteor Freaks, and they've got 4 against Lana and 4 against Chloe that would have been lethal had they come through, and then 2 non-lethal against Lana and only 1 non-lethal against Chloe by Meteor Freaks. But they've got Byron Moore listed as a non-lethal attack against Lana. I don't know that he actually Nocturne, the weird kid Nocturne. I don't know that he actually attacked her. Other than she just caught some shrapnel as he was, doing his Hulk out thing.
Yeah. They basically, this episode was actually very, like you said, a cap on the Freak of the Week stuff. This actually tied into the first season DVD release, which I have a note about, because the whole Chloe's little database wall of weird was, if you put on your Smallville season 1 DVD back in the day, it probably doesn't work now. It'll take you to the Smallville.net tie-in site. Click on the Smallville torch, click on the crow, and type in Wall of Weird, and it will pull it up, and it was like a whole little flash. Basically a mini wiki before there was wiki on all the old past Freak Weeks. And
that's not something you can get on Internet Archive, is it?
No, because it was all flash.
That's gone.
Yeah.
That's
Smallville.net takes you to the Warner Brothers website now. It redirects to the Warner Brothers website.
Wonder why they did .net and not .com back then.
Because it was a network.
.com, I think, was actually
that's
for
right,
the
we
show
had,
promotion.
yeah. That's where we were at in 2001, 2002, huh?
And weird note, which I have no idea why they did it. The kid Van, who is the one who shot Clark, the reason he's going after all these Meteor Freaks, we should say, is because his dad was killed by one. He was actually the Marine that Tina Greer killed when Whitney came back, and it wasn't Whitney, it was Tina Greer.
That's right.
He came to tell his mother that he passed, and the guy in the picture is a totally different actor. No idea why they didn't just get a picture of the guy they had before, but...
Is that true? Because, that dude seemed too young to be having a son.
Yeah, it is true, and why they didn't, Stim's right, why they didn't just use that guy's picture. But Steve's right also, that guy did seem kind of young to have a 16-year-old, 15-year-old son.
Yeah.
Odd choice, but yes, so there's yet another tie-in there between the Freak of the Weeks that Tina Greer did kill Van's father. And I love that there was tie-up of what Lana, of course, Lana's still very defensive about the whole Metropolis thing and Clark right now anyway, so she's throwing stuff in his face, but she's like, why is this anything different than what you do, Clark? And he's like, well, I don't kill. And she's like, well, what happened with Tina? I'm like, really? Are we we're gonna start being accusatory of how Tina died now? We haven't mentioned that in the whole season, but now we're gonna drudge it up.
At that point, I'm like, well, what happened with Emily Densmore, Lana?
Yeah. Did you kill her? Lana has blood on her hands before this series is over on several occasions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's the whole reason the
meteor shower.
Yeah, the second meteor shower is Lana's fault.
Technically, that was that the witch though? Or
no, it's Lana's. I don't blame anything on the witch.
Okay.
You don't blame anything on the witch that Lana was possessed by.
Yeah.
No, I blame her for that.
You blame Lana or Isabel?
Isabel.
Well, you're wrong. It's Lana's fault.
Well, okay, well, we'll see.
According to Algo, this episode was about tolerance, where Chloe, Clark, and Lana all have to reevaluate their stances on meteor freaks and how they regard them. Which...
She even says, Lana says the world would be better if the meteor shower had never happened. Oh, and then that cuts Clark deep.
And then at the end, though, she says, if you were a meteor freak, you could tell me. It wouldn't change anything. And then we go another 5 seasons for not knowing.
I do like that we can explore the idea there. It's like, oh, it never occurred to anybody that Clark could be a meteor freak. Like, really? All these weird random happenstances and him always disappearing and all these saves and everything. We never once suggested that Clark be. I loved this is really where it started with the whole the question of Lex being a meteor freak, which is something we really only talk about 2, maybe 3 more times throughout the series.
Yeah, where they find out he didn't have malaria, and he's like never been sick a day in his life,
because his white blood cell count is so high,
higher than like I had the joke, or if it's like the midi-chlorians, no one has a count that high, not even Master Yoda. So
that's why he can't keep the hair.
Yeah, but basically, that's
why my midi-chlorian count is so high, Steve.
But
that's funny because Anakin had a full head of hair.
That's a wig.
For a while.
That's a wig.
Until it burned off.
You saw how it looked in the end. That was a wig.
He looked like Vincent Price from old Batman show. Egghead.
That was a mullet. He had a Jedi mullet. Yes.
I mean, I think the big moment, of course, is Clark gets shot, and
if you're just joining us.
Right, the extraction of the bullet scene and everything with Jonathan and Martha, you know, and Schneider did such a great job of being panicked and worried, but still
keeping his cool.
Yeah. It was those two. I mean, you know, for the longest time, the show was, even though it was about Clark, the show was really carried on the backs of John Schneider and Ed O'Toole and John Glover in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
What was it, Talisman, where he gets stabbed by the dagger, and you kind of have like a callback to that when they're all in the hallway and
they're almost in the exact same spot. Yeah.
Yeah, and Martha comes in and slips in the blood.
Yeah. Which, if I remember correctly, was not in the script. I think that was a Schneider thing he threw in.
And he wanted the blanket to look like a cape or something. Too.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
This episode...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Clark mentions that his encounters with metahumans never lead to them shaking hands, which, again, discounts, like, the blind woman from Hourglass, Kyle from Hug.
Well, I don't think it'd be weird to shake her hand. She died, Mr. Coach Klein.
The kid from Visitor. And again, Clark forgetting his little brother, Ryan. Yeah, they didn't shake hands at all. They just went up in an air balloon together. So.
Again, he's dead, too. You're listing dead people.
Kyle ain't dead.
Do you just go up and shake hands with dead people? What happened with Kyle? I forget. Where did he end up?
He just went off like Bill Bixby.
Rickman got to him.
He went off like Bill Bixby with like the whole backpack wandering down the road, wanting to help people. I think actually would have been a cool idea, like down the line when they had 33.1, if you brought back like a whole bunch of the benevolent.
I think that was an idea, and that budget did not really lend itself to that. Steve, there was something I was going to ask you, and I do not remember now what it was. Oh, I forgot. I had always forgot. That doesn't make sense. I forgot about the scene where Sheriff Adams shows up at the farm and reports of your death have been greatly exaggerated, Mr. Kent.
Mr. Kent, it appears the reports of your death have been greatly exaggerated. I swear to God, Mr. Kent, if you're not dead, the next time someone tells me you're dead, I'll put you in handcuffs so fast it'll make your head spin.
I don't care who calls you in dead. You better be dead. Oh, it was a barbed wire incident. A barbed wire incident.
The sheriff's someone who should have probably thought Clark was a meteor freak at some point and like maybe tried to keep his secret.
I don't agree with everything that gets said on Talkville because a lot of it is often in error. But I do agree that this is
the first time we see the ship.
That I do agree that her death was just kind of out of nowhere by the time it happens, and that it deserved a little more fanfare.
It was overshadowed by Jonathan like the week after.
Yeah, well, it just happens, and then it was over, and it was like, it would have been nice for like her to know the truth about Clark, right before she died, or
Mr. Kent, I was wrong about you.
Yeah. You're a hero.
You're a hero, Mr. Kent.
I'm going to that great big Starbucks in the sky.
This is a great lot. Miss Lang. Miss Lang.
Looks like them good old boy days are over.
You make a great latte.
There is another Walker.
That would be good. That would be
That
good.
shirt that Clark has on when he and Lana have the conversation after he'd been lit up or shot or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Clark got lit up by that Uzi.
but this was not lit up. This was more shot. But the shirt seems to be a similar style of shirt and color in which he gets shot in our favorite episode, one of our favorite episodes in season 5.
Yeah.
It's that light blue.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not his standard Superman fare. It's
they do that, I guess, so the squib and the blood really pop, I guess.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying this shirt, like, it is associated with death.
Clark's I'm gonna get shot shirt.
Yeah, but he didn't. Yeah, but this was after he got shot. He was wearing it.
You know, they discussed at the convention a couple weeks ago. I think it was during the Tom and Kristen panel. Somebody got up and asked about the theory that Lana was a meteor freak, and that's why all these people try to kill her. Like that. She has some weird pheromone like attraction thing, and that's why there's so many of these incidents that go wrong for her over the years.
Well, you remember the theory why the Freak of the Weeks didn't show up in the later seasons, don't you? Not only was it that there was 33.1 basically rounded up and killed them all, there was the theory that, like, the kryptonite cancer was out there and killing people.
Oh, yeah. I do kind of remember that vaguely. Yeah, because I remember our lamenting at the beginning of season 5. We were like, "Oh God, it's going to be meteor freaks all over again," and there were a few as a result. A few that,
and it was just Lex going around picking them up, and then
pick them up.
But they never really did anything with the meteor freaks. I'm sorry. Steve is. Yeah.
Here's a guy who made a Dumb and Dumber reference.
I feel bad for the people who can't see us. Right
hey, Lex, there's some meteor freaks that need a ride. Pick them up.
Pick them
up. They never really did anything aside from, like, the jitters, did they? With Earl Jenkins and all the fake Dr. Hamilton about the kryptonite making people sick, did they? Really? I mean, your favorite episode, Magnetic, the guy gets it, like, embedded in his brain and bloodstream, and
man, I don't like that episode.
Yeah, but the difference is like those guys were exposed in ways that it wasn't just about getting into their system. It was continual. Like, it wasn't just a set amount that got there. It was a continual amount that they continued to be exposed to and continue to be exposed to, so that ultimately, got all flappy on them or whatever.
Basically, because that's how it was in the comics too, wasn't it? Where Luthor was wearing the ring for, like, years, and that's how he got his.
Yeah, it gave him cancer, and he had to cut his hand off for sure. Yeah,
which they kind of paid homage to in the final episode, which made no sense with Lex and the janky hand.
Yeah, it's all right. There was something else in this episode. The shirt, the conversation between he and Lana, the stabbing, the shooty. Clark's years of having to watch westerns with his dad paid off there in the end, huh?
Yeah, it sure did.
He went all fistful of dollars.
He sure did.
Yeah, or maybe he never watched Fistful of Dollars and only saw Back to the Future.
He just saw
3.
Back to the Future 3, watching Fistful of Dollars.
That's right.
Lead.
That was a cool moment.
Yeah, I did like that. That he did get lit up in that scene. So in your opinion, Steve, I guess I never really thought about it, but when the bullet hits him, or when the bullet's coming for him and he swats at it, he's walking away from it. He and Jonathan are walking to the house, and he turns around, but he doesn't have super hearing.
Yet.
Yeah, at this point. So how did he hear that bullet coming? Did he hear the gun go off? Because Jonathan didn't react to the gun.
Maybe he felt, I don't know, like the ripple in the air current.
Like, he turns back for it.
Right. I think it's a thing where he could kind of, I don't know. let's just say that he doesn't know he has super hearing yet. It just kind of happened.
Okay.
He's also kind of on alert for dude too. I mean,
yes. I mean, I'm not good on guns. Was that a sniper rifle? I know he had a scope on it, but was that technically a sniper rifle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how loud that is. I don't know what kind of noise that makes.
It kind of goes.
Did he have a silencer on it? Or?
Could you use a silencer on a sniper rifle?
Sure, you can use a silencer on anything.
My extent of guns is I played a lot of GoldenEye on N64 back in the day.
GoldenEye.
So I don't know, but like I never thought about it. I was like, oh, he turns around for that thing. He swats at it, Mr. Coach Klein.
Yeah,
that's still a great sequence, though.
I'm looking at his face now, and Steve's right. It's more like, don't you know who I am? I'm Superman. Or going to be.
Oh yeah, when he swats at it, yeah, he seems very just like, you've annoyed me.
And then it's like, oh, I'm miscalculated.
It's like swatting at a fly.
Yeah.
The whole time. And then he's on the ground crying out before Jonathan even turns around and goes, what? Clark?
Yeah.
What's wrong? What happened? What was in there?
What happened, son?
What was in there?
Did you fall down?
Saw some bacon. Yeah?
Oh,
yeah?
What else?
No car wrecks in this one. No Veritas window.
No, we don't see the Luther Mansion.
Yeah.
No, just Lex's window got shot out.
Yeah.
When Clark tackled him to the ground.
But that was his car. I don't think they don't put Veritas logos on the car windows too.
Well, no, I was saying like as far as any vehicle damage goes.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
We didn't do it a whole lot after this, but I always liked the blue shirt, tan jacket combo that he sported.
It reminds me of season 1 before they really settled on the uniform of the red shirt. Red jacket.
I liked it better than the black trench coat and black shirt with the white S on it.
Sure. Did anybody like that?
You did.
No, I didn't.
Well, I know somebody
fired up about it at Comic-Con.
I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't there that year. Slumber, 48th episode of the series, episode 304, written by Drew Z. Greenberg. He wrote 3 episodes, and they were all this season, which is pretty good get for somebody who just came on board. He was a story editor and a staff writer. In addition to Slumber, he wrote Hereafter, which is a good episode. Our first look at the Cape.
That's a good episode, yeah.
The Cape. And Truth, which is when Chloe's a meteor freak, briefly.
For the first
Another
time.
good episode.
Pretty good episode. He would go on to write several episodes of Arrow in the first 2 seasons, as well as multiple episodes of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. between seasons 2 and 6. So, a storied career for Mr. Greenberg. But he has the honor of writing what's quite possibly my worst favorite episode of the series.
Oh, worst favorite.
Worst favorite.
Well, everybody hurts, Derek.
Everybody hurts.
Sometimes.
This episode has everything weird going for it. It was a Warner Music label tie-in for REM's greatest hits. It has no bearing whatsoever on how the events in the episode can actually happen. There's no explanation as to how this girl is in Clark's dreams. She's not from Smallville. There's no kryptonite influence whatsoever here.
Wasn't there? I thought like the uncle was drugging her with kryptonite.
It wasn't kryptonite.
Oh, I don't know.
There was nothing meteor rock about it whatsoever. It's just Munchausen syndrome by proxy, and she's showing up in Clark's dreams.
Well, what's the frequency?
Yeah.
What's the what?
What's the frequency, Kenneth, where she sleeps?
It's Lana's old house too, so maybe there's like
she's in the vicinity.
Leftover radiation from Lana's necklace in the place. I don't know, like Chernobyl. I have no idea. Which it's the second time someone moved into Lana's house. It was mentioned.
Oh yeah, somebody else had already moved in there, hadn't they?
Yeah,
do
someone
vaguely-
with a cat was the quote I had, but I'm trying to find the episode.
Well, look, if you believe they put a man on the moon, then you can believe that this girl could infiltrate Clark's dreams.
Didn't they mention though it was also like the same bridge where Clark
Slow bridge.
saved, that's where
Slow
she went
bridge.
off? So
Yep.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility there was kryptonite in the water. Like, I don't know, like Sean Kelvin had or
Say water again.
water.
Water ice. The music played throughout the dream sequences in the episode is by REM. It's rather clever since in medical terms REM stands for rapid eye movement, which you see both Sarah and Clark using in the episode. They also felt the need to mention that REM also released a cover of the song I Am Superman. However, it is not used in this episode, but it is a really good cover when they play it. I like that.
And
song.
nobody drank an Orange Crush.
Nobody drinks an Orange Crush.
Yeah. Lineage was the last episode where they mentioned someone moving into Lana's house. And now someone else has moved in already.
I like how they make reference. Smallville Wiki makes reference to the REM and all the music being from REM, but doesn't mention the fact that it was specifically like all the commercials. I remember the night this aired, and all the commercials for the episode were for.
Oh, I remember the night it aired very much.
So this was your birthday. This was the night this aired.
And so I was turning about. I would have been turning like 9 years old.
Weird.
Which I had no business watching Smallville. At 9 years old, I'll just say that now. But I started because my sister watched Gilmore Girls, and that was on Tuesdays, which Smallville was on Tuesdays after it. And then Wednesday was season 3, moved to Wednesday, I think, right?
Correct, yes.
And then, so this was like the first time I was watching Smallville, and I couldn't blame it on my sister. What happened? My mother walked in to the room when 9-year-old me, there was Lana's body double doing what Lana's body double did in Cold Open. And she's like, "What are you watching?" And I'm like, "It's Superman."
Nothing.
It was very awkward as a 9-year-old, and that's why I have vivid memories of this episode, because I was like, had to explain to my mother, no, it's
fine.
Watch. It's fine. She's like, "What the heck are you watching?" And I'm like, "It's fine. But that was also one of the subtle hints, I guess, that it was a dream, because after all that happened with Clark and Lana in Premiere and him going to Metropolis, it's just very, I mean, as a 9-year-old, sure, I'm like peeking between my fingers. As a 30-year-old man looking back, yeah, they're like 20-something actors. It's kind of creepy. You're watching all these high school kids kind of.
Yeah, you were wrong. You were wrong for that. You're a terrible person. You're a terrible person.
I didn't write it. Blame.
Yeah, you did. Sarah and her parents were in a car accident around 1996 in which their car went off Low Bridge and into the Elbow River. Her parents were killed, but Sarah, who was asleep at the time, survived. However, she fell into a deep coma-like sleep and remained in this state for the next 6 years. Her parents were wealthy, and as long as she remained incapacitated, her uncle Nicholas Conroy controlled their money. To outward observers, he seemed like the devoted uncle caring for his sick niece. So how can she control his dreams?
I feel like it has to do with the meteor rocks in the...
Are there meteor rocks in the meds?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
It says that Sarah's car crashed into... No, the river that they crashed into was laced with meteor rocks. That's in the dialogue.
I mean, wasn't that what happened to Tori Spelling too? And the water panels.
Well, that's where Clark. That's where Clark went in.
Right, but because she was asleep and she was down there. I'm just telling you that this is the explanation.
I don't buy it.
The frontal lobe, the frontal lobe can have telepathic abilities. And so if she was exposed to meteor rocks while she was asleep, that frontal lobe fired up, and in the coma, she's able to.
I forgot to call the little cloaked guy the Traveler. When I said that, I had to do a double take, thinking of season 7. They call the little Grim Reaper looking guy the Traveler, who looks like the Time Trapper from the Legion comics. There's a note about that too. And the whole going into your dreams Freddy Krueger gimmick, there was a Justice League episode Only a Dream of the Justice League cartoon that aired a week before this episode with a similar gimmick and premise, basically. And the villain was Skeletor, Dr. Destiny, basically.
Oh, I thought it was actually
if you look
Skeletor.
up Dr. Destiny, he looks like Skeletor.
I was like, I missed that crossover. This was kind of our Halloween episode, I guess, because Perry was next, and I don't remember if it aired.
I forgot to mention last episode, the reason they had Clark go back to the torch was because they knew Perry was the next episode. So,
that's right. Yeah, when he came back to the Talon. No, Perry aired on October 29th, which is today. Tomorrow. We're at the 21st anniversary of Perry airing.
I'll need to make a tweet about that.
That's tomorrow,
That's
Tim.
tomorrow, Tim. Prepare yourself.
Pulling back the curtain.
Right now, just stand in the place where you are, buddy.
No, I do. I remember so much about that though. Like that night it was aired, it was like, oh, that's cool. Like they're doing all music from REM because it's a Sleep episode, and they keep showing this same commercial over and over again. How far removed were we from Man on the Moon at this point?
Oh, Man on the Moon
yeah,
was like 99.
Was that 2099? Okay, so we were a few years out. I couldn't remember.
I have some more brief trivias about this. In the school, there's a poster where the Crows are playing the Emerald Knights, which are a reference to the Green Lanterns, allegedly. I don't know if intentional or not. Pete, in this episode, is only in the dream sequences, which is, again, going into season 3, you can tell it's their last season with Pete. They have no idea what to do with him at all.
In Time, the best of REM, 1988 to 2003, was released October 27th, 2003. I was hoping there would be some tie-in.
There is a promo on YouTube, I think, for it.
Well, that's what I mean. They were promoting this.
Yeah. I know. I wish that was more of like I feel like Smallville Wiki has not done their due diligence on this part of it. But I also like if you weren't watching it that night, there's no way to really remember that. Like if you go back and watch it on the DVD, there's not like a.
No, you think it would have been automatic for the people that they would have done something like that.
I think it's, well, I don't know now because we've been having all those hacks, but it was one of the episodes on Internet Archive, I think.
Yeah. Any more, Steve? You want to?
Well, they went skinny dipping, but they didn't do any night swimming in this episode.
But they were shiny, happy people in the water. So
at the end, everyone was shiny, happy people, for sure. But the Traveler looked like he came from the great beyond.
Well, everybody hurts.
Yeah.
I've already used that one.
I can use it again.
Oh, you're going to cause me to be losing my religion.
I've run out of REM songs.
That's a bad day.
Well, it's the end of the world as we know it.
So this girl was a day sleeper. Her uncle was a real animal.
Clark ran all the way to Reno?
They mentioned that her uncle was stuck on track while I was trying. Her uncle's medallion had St. Christopher on it.
Yeah, St. Christopher the Traveler.
Yeah, I have no idea if that's...
You're a terrible Catholic.
People said, well, no, people were saying Christopher Reeve, if that's a reference to him. I think, no, it's a reference to a saint, but people in the Superman fandom call him St. Christopher. I'm like, yeah, because there's an actual saint named St. Christopher. It's not that deep. But.
I've not watched this one in so long, and I really do call it my worst favorite. I don't know if that's the correct terminology to use of bad episode. It is my favorite bad episode of Smallville, I think. What's the face? Why are you making a face, Steve?
I just don't think it's a bad episode. I think it's just a standard Smallville episode, and you do get the Lex getting into psychotherapy stuff. You know, I mean, like this is there's that underlying. They did season 3 outside of I think season 3 skewed way too dark for my taste. They did a good job of interweaving the formula that had been established in those first 2 seasons with some more serialized storytelling to kind of lead you into. I mean, from the moment he's on the island, you know, having his delusions until you get to Shattered in Asylum. I mean, like it's it's a really cool story arc that gets woven through there. And now we didn't have the benefit of hindsight while watching this episode to know that that was kind of where we were going with the weaving in and out, with Lex psychological state and everything. But I was never mad at this episode. I was more,
I love it.
yeah, I was just kind of like honestly, the gimmick of all REM music was more irritating to me than anything.
See, I love everything about it. I love that aspect of it. I love how like hard they went on the Traveler, like the looks of it and the aesthetic behind him whenever he would show up.
Like he look. Well, I'm sitting there thinking, spirit.
Yeah.
Are these the things that will be, or the shadow of things that may be?
Speak to me.
Can they be changed?
To me, spirit. I love Clark asking Pete, "Did you just see that guy in the red cape?" For all of its merits, and I think there are several, and I will go to bat for this one. I mean, it isn't. I would go so far to say it is in my top 10 favorite episodes of the series. I love it. I love everything about it. I think it's ridiculous. The entire first 15 minutes is a dream sequence. Like Clark getting the truck, the sword, like every bit of that. Like that's all dream, like before and after the opening credits. But it has the funniest moment in all of Smallville to me.
The best truck flip in the entire series.
The realization, okay, so they pan around, Clark's driving because he's left Lana's house, which I don't know why he's driving. She's just right there. Why did we drive?
It's like a mile away, man.
Ish. But Sarah is down in the floorboard, hiding as the camera pans around to swap from reality to the dream sequence, and you can see her pop up in the edge of the frame. At least in the HD, you can see her pop up into frame, and Clark's like, "Sarah, what are you doing?" Wait, if you're here, who's running hell? It's
the great. If
you're running here, that means bam.
And then it cuts to Martha doing the bills like nothing happened.
It's such a fantastic cut sequence. I mean, the jump cut from the realization that he's dreaming, that he's asleep, that she's there, to that ridiculously long truck flip, and probably one of the worst. I mean, outside of maybe Lana's wreck and reckoning, one of the most horrific wrecks of the series.
I'm trying to.
I think they did the camera trick where they got it from different angles and everything. So it seemed like it was flipping even more.
But that it goes on way longer than it actually did.
Yeah,
and then
almost comedically long.
And then that truck's fine next week.
Yeah, somehow they fix it up.
That's why the Kent Farms always go into the debt.
Yeah, because they just keep constantly fixing that truck.
I'll go for this. Oh, go ahead, Steve.
And the dream sequence with Lex and Clark breaking the sword over Clark's arm, that became kind of an iconic.
It's in the opening credits forever. Yeah.
Welling and Rosenbaum, I didn't have time to listen back to Talkville. They probably had no time for this episode. But back in the day, according to Season 3 Companion, citing my sources, but they really liked this one because it gave them, like, even for that one scene, Tom liked the effects of the sword shattering, and Rosenbaum liked Lex freaking out on Clark about how could you betray me, not tell me the truth, I was your friend, you should have told me the truth. And to this day, he thinks Lex was all justified in the way he did.
Of course he does.
It's just Rosenbaum being Rosenbaum.
Of course he does.
Lionel's pretty cut.
Is Lionel even in this episode? Or
yes.
Are you saying?
Yeah. It's the whole,
yeah, he was.
The whole discussion about the getting the doctor and the clean bill of health and
Doctor.
The whole doctors in the hallway. The whole deal where they're talking about his psychology stuff. Lionel was getting that massage.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like tying up his robe, and you just see like he's got a body on him, and he's eating that peach or whatever it is. Like, it's a supercharged scene.
In the bathroom, Matt. hotel.
We have a little nepotism from the girl who played Sarah Conroy. Did not realize this. Catherine Isabel, the Canadian actress who portrayed Sarah, was the daughter of one of the production designers on Smallville.
I mean, if I was in a position, I'd put my kid in the show.
And what else have I seen her in? Oh, she just did an episode of Tracker with Justin Hartley.
Didn't
she looks so familiar?
Wasn't Erica Durant's on the set? Wasn't she like a
casting director, assistant, or something? I think. Don't know the exact.
Not necessarily nepotism, but
no. What am I remembering?
Al Gough said for this episode.
Please call him Al Gough. You're butchering his name, and I just won't stand for it. Yeah, I know what you're doing, and I wasn't going to give it credence, but here we are.
Okay. Well, Al said that this episode, people either loved it or hate it. Nobody seemed to have it's fine response.
I absolutely love it.
He feels that you kind of need these episodes where you never know if you're going too far or not. It's kind of a little into fantasy land with the theatrics, but he felt basically that the whole first act being a dream, you don't realize it until after the fact. He feels like the commercial break kind of messed up the pacing after the cold open.
I'll be honest, I forgot that so much of it was the dream. Like, it just kept going on. Like, the truck happened, and I remember the whole flippancy of Jonathan and Martha toward the girl thing. Like, because they always seem very enthralled into whatever tale Clark is telling them, and it was like, yeah, it's probably nothing. Hey, look outside! Yet another Ford F-150 for you.
Well, I remember about this episode, aside from the introduction and my experience with that, is the Jonathan and Martha scene where they're waving to him, going goodbye with the truck. I remember I have no idea it was in a later episode where Clark was having like a near-death experience or something. I think it was actually season 8 when Oliver shot him with the arrow and he had no powers and all that. And I remember thinking at the time, being just me, my weird self, remembering everything. I'm like, that didn't even happen. That was a dream sequence. Why are you using that shot? It's just a lot of recycled assets in the past few episodes, too. That's just me being pedantic. But
yes, shallow and pedantic.
Indeed.
Obtuse.
I was failing to vamp as I found another bit of trivia. Yeah, apparently the guy who played the Traveler, as they call him, he wasn't the guy who played the uncle. They got a different guy, which isn't all that surprising. But he later went on to Phantom Zone Criminal, and then also Solomon Grundy, season 9, which that was the episode with the fake Brian Austin Green, wasn't it?
Did we do Solomon Grundy on Smallville?
He was at
the table?
He was at the table.
Yeah.
Okay, we never actually were properly introduced to him.
No, he was never like Solomon Grundy have pants.
Solomon Grundy want pants too. Is that anywhere? That's something we need to throw on the socials.
It's on
Tim.
YouTube.
Is it?
It is.
God, that's so good.
My favorite thing, I remember like one of the early days of the DC Universe streaming service when they had their own thing, which was, I'll say it, better than Max when it comes to DC content, because it had Adventures of Superman, Superboy, and all that. They had the superhero roast specials.
Oh, yeah, they had the roast. Yeah, I do remember that.
You had Solomon Grundy dressed up as like Gomer Pyle from the filling station, and it was just delightful.
It's been a long time since I've watched that.
We need to do a shoot 2 on it.
No, that's no. We don't need to. We don't need to make
shoot 2 still a thing?
No, but he likes to reference it a lot because he references everything. Go ahead, go. This is the end of the episode. Do your deep dive. Do your most obscure reference. Scare Steve on the spot.
Law of Seventh Generation.
I'm
sorry.
He wasn't there for that. That's not a obscure. You gotta scare Steve. You gotta do an obscure Steve reference to make him.
I'm trying to
dance puppet.
I'm trying to think of something he'd actually remember.
He doesn't have to remember
where you were when Osama bin Laden was killed.
where I was watching. It was a wrestling night, wasn't it?
It was a Smallville night.
Was it?
Dominion. Yeah, season 10, Dominion. And you guys did
We
a
were
bit
we
on
were
it.
recording live as it happened.
Okay, so we were recording as it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't when it aired, because I remember John Cena announced that at a pay-per-view, at a wrestling pay-per-view.
I believe so. And you did a bit where it was basically the Endor celebration.
You started playing Yub Nub during the episode.
I don't remember that at all.
It's you, me, Damien, Robin.
I think Robin.
Is Humrick on it?
Yeah, it was one of those.
It was one of those with
Final
all
back
5 of us.
episodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where Derek basically gave up on editing.
Oh
It was
yeah,
just like,
no, we were done by that point. There was no
you had
no
like
reason
the
to.
outtakes afterwards for 40 minutes. It was just
That sounds about right.
We were focused on getting that video done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you could scare him with more references because he's also a
I'm
longtime
sure
Geek Out Loud listener, which is
I'm
terrifying
sure
to me.
I could,
you
but
know,
I'm trying
so.
to think now.
He
Put it
can
on the spot.
he can pretty much quote the entirety of our first Muppets episode.
There's no sense in that.
I know, right? Why? Why would you?
I have a
The
bone
amount
pick
of
with
things you
Steve.
could retain, and you keep that in your
I
head.
have no
instead?
idea, like college calculus or anything like that. No, over
You
my
have a
head,
bone
but-
to pick with me?
Yeah, the Muppets episode is no longer on the feed.
Well, thank you for letting me know
That's
that.
a calculated reason.
No, not at all. A few years ago, GoDaddy lost everything that I had.
You guys had the big surfer crash, and then Steve had his. I know because that
Yeah.
also affected all the.
We
What
lost
was it?
the
The
season
Slabs
the season
and the
11
Supergirl?
episodes. Yeah, that we did
Yeah.
with Brian Q. Miller.
Yeah. So
I have some of those saved. I can get here. I think Frank might have some. But
yeah, I'd have to. What episode was that? Do you know?
episode 14. What the heck? Derek was
God
rolling a
in
little.
heavens! Why do you know this stuff? It's weird,
Yeah.
man. Like I love
Okay,
you.
and-
I love you like a little brother, but it's weird. It's really weird.
Here's the thing with that. Like, great. I'm glad you know it because I appreciate it. But the fact that you could say it so quickly is what really bothers
It's
me.
concerning.
It's the expediency. It's that concerns
Yeah.
me.
You also did a commentary for the 10th anniversary of the Phantom Menace together.
I do
which
remember that. Yeah, that's
is no
not
longer
anymore.
going.
Yeah,
A
those
Back to the
things,
Future episode.
let's see. I'd have to. I don't know. Like there's several that are missing, and it's not because I took them down intentionally. It's because I never found them. I'll put if you know which ones are missing, if you'll shoot me an email,
I'll
I can put out a call.
look up for it. I just remember looking for that one. Like I forget. I think it was actually to.
I'm surprised you don't have them.
I did, and then the computer I had bricked, so I didn't back them up. I'm not that obsessed. But I think Frank has a lot of the old shoes that are missing, though, like the uncut versions and everything.
I've gone through like the oldest external hard drives I have and everything, trying to find a lot of stuff, and it's just not there. So
I was just teasing you about, like, I mean, I know it's not within your control having it or not having it, but the Muppets episode is classic.
yeah, I mean that's considered you know old.
I mean, I could again freak Derek out. I can quote it to myself, and it's like I don't need it, but I know it, and
Well,
it's just
like you'll
comfort listening.
pull out something like I'll say something and you'll say something and I'm
Obscure.
like, that sounds like something I would say had I thought of it, and you're like, no, that's from timestamp 42 minutes and 37 seconds of episode 21 of Geek Out Loud. I'm like, you're a effing robot.
You're like a savant.
Yeah.
Well, going back again to the early episodes of Round 3, we're talking about like the Conan late night debacle, and like
I do
the
remember
first Spider-Man reboot, and Derek was adamant that they were doing it so they could bring him into the Avengers, and wasn't the case then. But
now we don't have to say stuff to make me wrong. That just paints me in a negative light.
I
We
mean,
don't
you were
have to.
wrong and right.
You're wrong. Yeah, the round 3 recall is excellent. I will say the shoe stuff is impressive, but when you start pulling out round 3 stuff, it's
You need to get banished back out there.
You don't need to. No.
Yeah.
See, there's
now
some
that we
things.
recovered the YouTube channel.
We did recover the YouTube channel.
That's another thing that we need to figure out.
That Mr. Joe Humrick recovered the YouTube channel for us incredibly.
Oh, did he?
He did.
Awesome.
He sure did. He was the one that had it. Who'd have thought?
Wow.
Who'd have thunk?
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Only took 15 years to get it back, but we got it.
Sweet. Thank you, Joe Humrick.
Thank you, Joe Humrick, and your
What a
beautiful
nice
head of
guy.
hair. The nicest.
What nice hair.
So, before we go, any fun stories from the road up in Philly or anything?
From Philly? Yeah.
'Cause you had like a crew. I mean, there was Robin. I saw Goodman in that picture.
Robin
of course,
Goodman,
Graham Hancock.
Graham and Jason Bolton. Frank was supposed to be there, but unfortunately had a little medical mishap and on his way to the airport, or just before he was leaving for the airport, and he didn't get to make it. Had a good time. It's always weird being around, I guess, much like being around Tim, but it's weird because those are people that we met because they listened to us. I mean, I consider them the greatest of friends now, and that's not the way I look at it at all. I mean, we never were like the fans listening. Like, no, we were like, if you're listening to us, you're friends. Like, you're part of the conversation.
Maybe we
always.
should be friends.
So
he doesn't like it.
It's
I'm
funny
trying too hard.
because
I'm trying too hard.
you're talking over me again, and I'm trying to tell a story, and it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But Bolton will listen to a new episode of Shoe. Maybe this will go fully meta for him, like with his kids in the car, and he's like, "These are the people I hang out with." Like, it's funny. Maybe one day we could be friends. But it's always funny to me to be around these people who do have such like vivid memories of listening and can pull stuff back. But yeah, we usually go with like some endeavor, some theme where we go every year. We've done Vancouver, we've done Los Angeles, we've gone a bunch of places. We just kind of did Philly this year just because it was close to people and they could get there easily. But I've never been. Have you? Have you ever been?
I've never
Steve?
been to Philly. No, I've been in that airport to make a connecting flight.
Yeah, I've been to the airport, but I've never been outside of it. So it was neat to do all the Rocky stuff. That was really what I wanted to do, was go to the statue, and of course the statue's not up at the top of the steps anymore like it was.
No, they moved it.
They've moved it down below.
Are you upset because they moved your statue?
But it and we got to eat at Adrian's, which was
Sweet.
incredible. Victor Cafe, which was used for Adrian's in Rocky Balboa and Creed and Creed 2. But that place is actually, all the wait staff are classically trained opera singers, Steve.
Wow.
And they like every 15 or 17 minutes, they rotate and somebody else will come out and do a performance in the middle of the restaurant. And God, it was incredible.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that doesn't get annoying, does it?
No, it was incredibly moving. Like they were, like it was not an amateur rookie thing at all. Like they are incredibly gifted, talented people, and they ask that you don't film them. Obviously, don't record them. Don't make any noise while they're performing. Like and everybody, there's not. I mean, it is. You could hear a pin drop. Like everybody just stops eating, turns and looks, and it was incredible. But upstairs in the bar area, there's the actual sign, the Adrian sign, and some other stuff is up there. But downstairs, the Rocky 3 painting is still hanging there in the back, and that's where we ate.
Wow.
So I'll call Robin out on this because I still think he's lied to us. So we had to get reservations, and the only reservations we could get were at 9 p.m. on that Friday night. And so we put him in charge of the reservations. He was bound and determined to eat at the table where Rocky and Drago sit in the second one. Like he put in the notes, can we please sit at the table? And I'm like, oh my God. So I don't think they knew. They set us at the table by the big picture.
Right.
But he was up in the bar when they sat us, So when he came down and we were already at that table in the back, I think he was a little upset because he wanted to sit at the actual, but we wouldn't have all fit at that table. It only sat 4. So, I mean, where we were was good, I feel like. But so when they're coming through the bar, I forget if he had gone to the bathroom or if he was out on the street or what, but they're coming. We're the only party waiting on a table. Like, we went early so we could go ahead and be there for when our reservation was.
Yeah.
And so we were the only people upstairs in the bar waiting. And the guy comes through and he goes, "Drago, party of 6. Drago." And I was like, no, he didn't. He did not. He didn't. And so none of us said anything. And like, Bolton and I are looking at each other like, did he name us the Drago party? Like, is that something he actually did? Because he would, of course. And then a few minutes later, he came back through and said, "Robin, party of 6." And we were like, okay, that's us. But evidently they had pulled it from the notes. He was saying Drago because it was in the it was in the notes. But none of them knew, I don't think, where that table was. So they ended up sticking us by the portrait in the back, which was perfectly fine. It was a great evening. I was not feeling well at all, and I hate that because otherwise it was fantastic. But it was a very memorable night. And then we went to see The Shining at midnight.
Ooh.
After that at a local theater there.
Well, that's fun time.
Which was fun. Yeah, little. Always have a little Halloween tradition. We like to go see a scary movie. We've gone to see The Thing and some other stuff. So we had a good time though. And equally had a good time in Jersey at the first Smallville convention. If you haven't listened to the previous episode before this one, Craig Byrne came on and we discussed the weekend as we co-hosted the event.
You mentioned on Geek Out Loud, you didn't mention shoe listeners. You had a special encounter in the restroom, which sounds more salacious than it was.
I did. I had Mr. John Glover come up to me in the restroom. That was.
You got good to see you.
Good to see you.
He didn't say it.
He didn't say it. I said it to him. I did. I sure enough said good to see you.
I love that. I love that so much.
No, but nobody around to get that reference, if anybody even would have. But no, that was a great time, and I'm looking forward to year 2 in Chicago, and hope more people could come. I wish Steve had been there. Tim, I wish you'd been there. Wish your dad all the best, and
thank you
in his recovery. And hate you weren't able to make it, but glad you were taking care of him. I've still got to get you your autographs, which are around here somewhere. But yeah, several good weekends in a row there, and then now I'm glad to have done this with you both. We're a little delayed on it, but glad we got it out.
Tim, I'm glad to spend some time with you. I appreciate you being so hard with all your trivia and
hopefully in the future I'll be less creepy and less talking over people. And I mean, for first time podcasting, it's not that bad, right?
I'm sorry, did you just grade yourself?
He's fishing.
I'm asking an opinion. I'm submitting myself.
He's up for review. Well, should we do an exit interview?
What I like is I'm in the middle of like, hey man, thanks for being with us and everything, and he's like, yeah, maybe next time I won't talk over you. Well, you just did.
Well, you know what, you son of a bitch.
Hey, buddy, how about this?
How about neurodivergent my foot? Shut your mouth.
There's a learning curve.
Oh, well, all right. Well, let's do an exit interview. Steve, how do you think he did?
I'm going to say acceptable.
Acceptable. That's always a good. Yeah. Not bad.
Better than I expected.
You brought the hat. You're wearing your shoe hat. That's good.
Yeah, it's like wearing the shirt to meet the band, kind of.
Yeah, don't do that.
But
not at all. I think that listen, wearing the shoe hat just shows, hey, I'm a part of this team. Like when we're recording, it's behind the scenes kind of thing. It's not like you're picking up Aquaman in a Superman shirt. Or anything.
Yeah, we'll see you next time on Startville's House of L. Listen to Steve over at Geek Out Loud, geekoutonline.com, the official podcast of Geek Out Loud. And you could find us online. Tim, you know what? You're here. You do the closing because I always forget what the handles are.
Smallville Podcast on TikTok and Instagram, and for Shoe Smallville on X, formerly known as Twitter.
No,
Still call it Twitter, even though cesspool.
I refuse to call it X. I refuse. That is Twitter. It will always be Twitter. It always has been Twitter. It always will be Twitter. We are online, smallvillepodcast.com. Steve, I want to make a plea. Actually, I want to call somebody out in a positive light, though, before we wrap here. I don't ask enough for reviews like we used to.
Right.
And we used to have, I don't remember, like 1,700. Like the AAC may have had 1,700. I don't know. I want to give a shout out to Roth in Wyoming who left who left a review over on the Apple Podcast. Steve and Derek back podcasting together. Not much better. Depends on the tone you read that in and whether or not it's a good thing, I guess. But that's fine.
Hold on.
Not much. See what I mean? See what I mean?
Is he saying? So we're not much better.
So Steve and Derek back podcasting together? ? Not much better! !
Not much better. Yeah, not much better.
Not much better than it was. About on par. But
so, or is he saying, "Hey, Steve and Derek back podcast together. There's not much better than that."
Yeah,
is that what he's trying to say?
Well, you infer for that what you want to infer. I'm not sure.
I'm taking it as an insult.
But I will say thank you for that. And if you do still use Apple Podcasts or Spotify, because you can also leave a rating on Spotify, please go over there and leave us a review. We'd really appreciate it. I know people are still listening. I can see the numbers. I see the interaction on socials that Tim shows me. But I love those reviews, I guess because I'm still old school, and that was like the first way we really encountered people before social media. Mm-hmm. We had emails and we had reviews, and that was it. And nobody emails anymore. So,
and reviews still help. Yeah,
reviews still help. Absolutely. Yeah. And so, I'd love for you to do it if you're so inclined. So head on over there and to Apple Podcast or Spotify, wherever you listen, you can leave a review. But yeah, if you're definitely listening through Apple or Spotify, do that. We would really appreciate it.
I'm not ashamed to say, make it good.
Yeah,
If you don't have anything good to say about the show, then don't leave a review.
No. You can email us if you have negative opinion, and we can address that. But if it's something good, go over there and say it. Say it. All right. Tim, thank you for joining us. We will be back next time with another special guest. Professor Bailey will be joining us, Steve and I, to discuss the 5th and 6th episodes of the series, or the season, excuse me.
Bailey's coming on?
Bailey's back, baby.
All right.
Putting me between Luke and Bailey is like...
Yeah, we had to get you out of the way.
Everybody hurts, buddy.
Everybody hurts. Bailey will be discussing episodes 305 and 306, Perry and Relic, with us. So I am looking forward to that, when his brain of knowledge of the DC universe and all things Superman, getting to talk about Perry White, and then the 50th episode of Smallville, which has no place in lore whatsoever. It's just a fun little episode. 1961, Relic.
Well, you have to tell your anecdote about trivia on that episode then. Wasn't that the question that got you?
Yeah, somebody got mad at me about that one. That's true. Yeah, we'll save it. All right, we will see you guys next time.